the 13 colonies, right? Or like the first colonies that the U.S. went to, I would assume.
Yes, but sir, look, I didn't come here to go to class right now, bro. I don't know
That's
nothing
true,
about
but I'm just saying, like...
It's the Lame Guys Podcast.
Episode 27. We're here, bro. Lame Guys Podcast. I'm Mario.
I'm Vincent.
And I say, fuck it, dude. Let's get straight into it. We have a lot to talk about today.
Yeah.
We saw Abigail last night. We'll talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
Do we go full spoiler on it, or do we just talk about...
We just talk about the premise.
Yeah. And then main thing, though, we had the Deadpool trailer come out on, what was it, Monday?
Monday, dude.
And
so we recorded when our last episode dropped, the Deadpool trailer also dropped, and it's just like, gosh, I've been waiting to talk about
bro,
it.
what a fantastic trailer.
Oh, my goodness. Dude.
And it's like, I felt like it showed a lot, but part of me still feels like there's still so much that we have to see. And like, it's not one of those things where I feel like, God damn, you showed the whole movie.
No, 100% agree with you. I truly felt like, dude, that whole fight between him and Wolverine, I doubt that's the whole fight, but that's the only scenes they showed us. Like, if you really think about it, that's all they gave us. And then we have the who we're assuming is the villain of the movie, Cassandra Nova.
Yes.
Her popping up or whatever. And then, the cool part of Ant-Man's skull as the ship or whatever is the HQ for them. Like, I first watch, I didn't notice that. Emily watched it with me when I watched it the second time. She goes, oh, crap, that's Ant-Man's helmet. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is. I completely went over my head.
Oh shit, that's Ant-Man.
Trailer was fantastic, and I don't think they showed us much at all, and it was the perfect amount to where we were just all like, yes, bro.
Jeez, dude. I mean, I think that trailer was so good that you wouldn't even need to drop another one.
I agree.
Between now to the movie,
I agree.
Like, you wouldn't have to drop another one just to even get us hype. Like, the hype is already there for everybody.
Mm-hmm. What is it? It comes out on July 25th or whatever. So was that May, June? Yeah,
it's almost here, bro.
3 months, and we don't even need a trailer. We're done.
Yeah,
we really.
I wrote some things just to talk about on the trailer. Logan looks fucking badass.
Oh, bro, Hugh Jackman looks fantastic as always as Wolverine.
Looks so badass. And then when he walked out without the sleeves, I thought, oh my, bro, have you seen the
my boy Soup? The slaves,
and it sounds like he's saying the slaves. Bro,
King Lion did like a duet or thing.
I've seen him do like 3 of them, and I just think, bro, you are Soup's biggest fan, bro. He stays talking about Soups. He looked so badass. When the dude says that this Wolverine let down his entire world, I'm thinking, oh shit, like what is this? So obviously, I would assume he's a Fox Wolverine, but I don't know, like because when Deadpool shows him the picture and he's like, but I don't know about working with the team, but you do. I'm assuming he's talking about the X-Men that we know, but also I could be wrong. I don't know. And then the action looks insane on it, and then like you said, I already mentioned Ant-Man's head, and then the one shot that we get, and I assume that they're jumping into the MCU. When it's the little, that portal, I guess is what it's called.
Who opens the portal, bro?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, to some people, I think you said me that it could have been Ned doing practice.
Bro, I could also see it being Wong, because Wong's popping up.
I see it being Wong.
Wong pops up so much, and I just think he's also a fan favorite, so that could.
It would have worked. I think the comedic of Wong being there and then Deadpool, I think it would have.
It's gonna be so funny.
It would also work with Ned though.
Hello, Mr. Deadpool.
Dude, what if, so if we get Ned, then that means, what if like Spider-Man made like a tiny cameo in it? I don't think so. I think
honestly, it's kind of crazy to think about, because I think I sent you the tweet, or I think we both sent it to each other from My Time to Shine on X. Him saying that the post-credit scene or the ending of Deadpool is insane. I don't know how they kept this under wrap. I don't know how they pulled this off. And the first comment right under was the Deadpool creator, Rob Liefeld, I think, and him saying he's right. I don't know how they did this, and I thought, oh, you just really confirmed this is going to be insane. Like, what is going to happen? Anything is possible at this point, but like at the same time, I don't want to get too. I don't want to.
We did that to ourselves with Doctor Strange. Like I know for me for sure too. Like, I expected Toby to be there. I expected so many people to be there. So like, I'm not gonna let that happen to myself now. But I do. Like, if I was to bet money that if this movie is going to have way more cameos than Doctor Strange, I still say yes. Like, just because it's a Deadpool movie and it's like, it just could be that way, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
No, it was badass, bro. I'm so excited. We'll have to try to go see that one Thursday.
Oh yeah, that one's definitely going to be, bro. The girls are going to have to stay somewhere
because it comes out the 25th, which is a Thursday. The 26th is Friday.
Your birthday.
So I mean, I guess we could go Friday if worst case scenario. But yeah, I want to try to go that Thursday.
Yeah, this is definitely a movie that if you're not watching it opening week, bro, you're going to get spoilers galore.
Oh, I believe it.
Bro, what if they do a fan screening? Like
I would try to go. It just depends, like, especially because I wish our Cinemark did that type of stuff. I get it. It's not like a big Plano. Like, the ones in Plano are bigger. I get it. But I just wish our Cinemark would do it because it's so hard to – because then, you know, it's a weeknight and then the girls, we gotta get them taken care of. And then Teresa's not going to let me go by myself to go see it. Like, she's got to come with me. So it just makes it harder. I wish our Cinemark did it because we'd be able to go see the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, our Cinemark in Rockwall, bro, they are not playing any of those Spider movies. We have to drive out. I mean, yeah, you're right. If it was just maybe like a weekend thing, it'd be easy. But
right,
weekdays,
like, or if it was like a Friday or something, like that would be. But they're doing it like on Monday and Tuesday, and usually I think if they do screenings, they're like on Tuesdays, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, oh well. But yeah, I'm so excited, bro.
Yeah, bro, the fans are gonna be happy. They're going to finally get what they want.
What?
Taylor Swift going to be in this movie, bro, as Dazzler.
Oh, I believe it too.
Did you see those T-shirts they released?
No, I didn't.
I showed Emily the
think
T-shirts, and
will.
bro, apparently like the same font of like what she does for her albums and everything like that.
Oh,
and it's
really?
Deadpool and Wolverine. And I showed Emily, and I was like, "What does this look like?" She goes, "Oh, I know." And
I know
like,
she's gonna be in
she's
it.
going to be in this movie,
Yeah.
bro.
I think, bro, numbers wise, this movie.
Oh yes, I wanted to bring that up. I agree. I think numbers wise, this movie is going to blow boxes out of the water. And right now, for the comic book movie genre, bro, Joker still is in the $1 billion, club as the highest comic book rated R film.
Yeah,
this is taking it.
Oh, I agree.
This is taking it, bro.
What's the last superhero movie that hit $1 billion? Do you remember?
Hit $1 billion?
Yeah.
Doctor Strange wasn't. Doctor Strange almost hit it. Hit 9 something.
Ant-Man didn't.
Ant-Man, no. Aquaman didn't.
I'm trying to think of the most recent movies.
Aquaman didn't. Flash definitely didn't.
Yeah, it's been a while.
What was the last superhero movie?
Aquaman.
Was that the last one?
I mean, there hasn't been a Marvel one, right?
I hope not. No, yeah, not for this year.
Yeah. So, Into the Spider-Verse or Across the Spider-Verse. Did that have $1 billion?
No, neither did the Marvels.
Okay, so yeah, dude. I mean, it's been a while.
It's been a minute since we've had $1 billion club member.
Yeah, this one I think easily.
Yeah, so much potential for this movie, man. I am extremely excited for this. July can't come fast enough, man. What a birthday gift for you! But we're going to be so hyped for this movie. Yeah, I can't wait.
You want to lead into, since we saw Wolverine with the sleeveless live action, you want to lead into X-Men 97 most recent episode?
Dude, episode 7.
It was a good episode.
It was very good.
Yeah, I personally didn't know Rogue was such a badass. Like, I had no idea that she could fly. I had no idea that she had, like, super strength. I had no idea. All I know is I just remember from my little short stint where I watched the X-Men movies that she couldn't touch people. Like, and so I knew that was a power. And that's still a fantastic power, right? Because if she touches people, like, they get sick or they die, right? Or something like that. I had no idea that she was so badass like she is in the show. So she was definitely the highlight of the episode.
And then we get that surprise cameo from America's Boy Scout, bro. Captain America.
And I loved how she literally just threw his shield like nothing.
People are saying on Twitter that's the pettiest shit you could do to Captain America.
She pretty much says that you have your hands tied. All right, you ain't going to need this. And threw that bitch. And then, bro, he's pretty much helpless now. Like, he's got to get a jet or something to go get it.
Yeah, bro. It was a great episode.
Yeah, it was great. And then we had a bunch of stuff happen. I mean, I don't know what all you want to talk about on
Dude, you call it. I mean, shit, my all hope was gone for me, bro. But Magneto's back.
Yeah,
even Emily said
dead,
when I
dude.
told her, or I showed her the episode, she goes, "See, I knew he wasn't dead." And I go, whew, thank God he's not dead, bro.
I knew he wasn't dead. He's being held by Bastion. I'm trying to get all the villains because I feel like there's like 3 or so that they keep going through. Because it's like Sinister, right? Or Sinestro, or
Mr. Sinister.
Mr. Sinister. Mm-hmm. Then there's Bastion, and then there's Trask.
Mm-hmm.
And then
we see Trask a little bit in the live action.
Yeah, who's the main villain? Who's the main villain that they show at the end? What's that name?
Yeah. Who did you say?
Bastion.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Trask, when he goes to commit suicide.
Bro.
When Rogue just lets him fall, I thought, oh. And none of the X-Men even. They just watched.
Honestly, in my head, I thought to myself, bro, who was it? Jean could have stopped it. She could use her
she didn't even have to move to stop it.
To, levitate him. Who is it? Nightcrawler could have easily just like, teleport to grab him or something like that. None of them did anything.
None of them even flinched.
And then they were all, what have you done? And then Wolverine instantly, what we all want to do or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking, oh, yeah, bro. Wolverine about that, too.
You could just tell they're all so tired of what's going on.
Dude, when the X-Men were fighting Trask, whenever he turned into the Ultimate Sentinel, whatever they called it, it was so cool. That whole fight was incredible.
Well, I wrote down how Morph turned into Quicksilver. I thought that was badass.
that was so clean,
I thought that
dude.
was so badass.
When Jean and Trask were they both were flying and they were hitting each other, and like you just see like the orange and blue like balls of energy, whatever, going through. I thought, dude, this looks like some anime stuff. It was so cool.
So how many episodes are left? 3?
I think 3 episodes.
Yeah,
it's been
8, 9. It's been a pretty good show. Would you say that the other episodes are the same tone as these have been, like from the previous X-Men 97?
Some.
Okay.
Some.
The other ones are more kid friendly, I guess.
Kind of, but
I'm not saying this has been like rated R.
No.
But
I get what you're saying. A little more like just a little.
It's been a little.
Tone.
It's been like
But
a little
there
serious,
are
like
some-
adultish tone. Like
there are some serious elements in some of the 90s episodes. There really are. You deal with it when it comes to Jean. You deal with it when it comes to some stuff with Magneto and Wolverine. But this one, they're all getting their time to shine. They're all getting their big moments.
yeah. But you know what I'm saying? Like it just feels more like a you would like you grew up watching it, and now you're older, and it's like they've
they've grown up with you.
Yeah, it's like they've elevated a little because they know that their fan base has already grown now, so they made it a little bit more just like not so kiddie.
No, yeah, I get it, and yeah, I agree with you. They have definitely toned it up a bit.
Yeah, that's why. So that's why it's like I want to go watch the old ones, but I just know they're not going to be on the same.
You'll
same
like
tone. Yeah, maybe. Anything else, or do you want to get into
You're gonna get into
Gangs
Gangs?
in New York? Yeah.
Our rewind review we set out for each other last episode, and Gangs in New York, dude, finally got to watching it. I liked it.
Yeah, I thought it was solid. I'm not gonna say I loved it or anything.
Yeah, I liked it.
I thought it was solid. You want to give it a ranking?
Sure. Yeah.
Ranking for Gangs of New York. 3, 2, 1,
8.
7. Might give it like 7.
Yeah, 8 for me. I feel like is a good number just because story overall was pretty good. The acting absolutely phenomenal. Visually, it was pretty damn cool. The whole historical piece and everything like that.
That was the best part to me, in my opinion.
Martin Scorsese killed it with this thing. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I think a good 8 out of 10.
Okay, I'd give it like a 7. I just thought it's very like I feel like first off it's long. It was like 2 hours and 40-ish minutes, and I feel like you could have cut out a lot of that stuff and made it like 2 hours and 20 minutes or so. And I feel like sometimes the story. I mean, we could get into a full review here, but pretty much what? So pretty much it's 1846. Because I was trying to narrow down what year it was, but then they mentioned even Abe Lincoln, and I thought like, oh shit, this is old. And then you have like the Civil War going on. You have the the natives hate the Irish that are coming in. Irish immigrants are coming into New York. And then it takes place in the 5 Points, which is a real place. And I looked up like on TikTok what people had to say about Gangs in New York, and like this one guy like is walking on where the 5 Points were. Like I think that's so cool, bro. Isn't it crazy how New York has so much fucking history?
Yeah,
like that predates like anything that Texas has ever did. I think like isn't New York like one of the first? I'm not a historian, but I think like New York is like the 13 colonies, right? Or like the first colonies that the U.S. went to. I would assume.
Yes, but sir, look, I didn't come here to go to class right now, bro. I don't know.
That's true, but I'm just saying, like, just think about like 1846. I'm sure Texas in 1846 was nowhere near like how New York was in 1846. I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
And they do this on Yellowstone. What was that show? 18
what? 18. What was the show on Yellowstone? 1873 or something.
Was that in Texas?
It was in Texas, but I would say it didn't have like. When I've seen any show that shows like Texas back then, like New York, I feel like still had huge buildings, like still had like it was New York. So I don't know.
Civilization was there,
right? Like I just the amount of people that are in New York, I would assume outnumber any place like it compared to Texas, right? But I thought that was cool. I love any type of like prehistorical type shit.
No, yeah. What was I gonna say? Yeah, like how I said earlier, Martin Scorsese did a phenomenal job depicting what the 1840s looked like for New York. I was looking up stuff, just trying to figure out stuff to talk about for the movie, and just once I'm interested in a movie, I really want to know the making of it. So I watched the whole thing on how they made this movie. He was trying to get this movie picked up off the ground for years because he read the book. He really liked the book. And finally, a producer came in, Harvey Weinstein, and he came in and said, I'll give you the money for it. So he gave him $85 million to make this movie. Mid-production, ran out of money.
Oh, wow.
Martin Scorsese and Leonardo DiCaprio said, we'll take a pay cut to continue pushing for this movie. Still wasn't enough, so they end up having to get a little more. So how much is the full total or the full budget? I didn't look that far into it, but that was pretty cool. Daniel Day-Lewis, he was retired.
He was the best part of the movie.
Yeah, Bill the Butcher cutting, bro, was incredible. Daniel Day-Lewis was retired before this movie.
Wow, and they brought him out.
And Martin talked to him, Leo talked to him, and ironically, bro, Tobey Maguire spoke to him as well because Leo and Tobey grew up together, childhood friends or whatever, so they grew up together. So he also spoke to him, and they all got him out of retirement to do this movie, and a phenomenal job he did.
He was the best part of the movie.
Oh my gosh, dude! I've always been told that Bill the Butcher in this movie is absolutely incredible. I already knew that Daniel Day-Lewis is what some consider the GOAT in acting. It's like between him and Meryl Streep, dude. People love them too. Like they epitomize acting when it comes to Hollywood type stuff. As far as getting fully immersed in this role, and he did, dude. They were talking about how on set he never got out of character. When the cameras yelled cut, he stayed in character. He picked all his own clothing. He worked tirelessly try to figure out the right accent for this role. Dude, they said when he woke up in the morning while they were shooting and everything like that, he'd go to the gym and work out. He was blaring Eminem. Why? Because apparently some songs that M has, I guess, epitomizes the character and like the mindset of Bill the Butcher and everything. Like The Way I Am, they talked about that song was a big one. They said he'd play it on full blast and just listen to that song and just get into character. And like I said, every time they yelled cut, he stayed as Bill the Butcher. You never met Daniel on set.
Wow.
I was like, that is insane.
That for real is insane. Do you want to go first with your review? I don't know if you have like a review on it or...
Sure, yeah. I mean, so I really enjoyed this movie. Like I said, I give it like an 8 out of 10. I fully see why this movie is a classic. Martin Scorsese, as I said earlier, does a very, very damn good job as far as depicting New York around that time. The 5 points, I never knew anything about the 5 points, but it looked grimy. It looked nasty.
It was the ghetto.
It looked like nothing I want to visit. But on a movie screen, on my TV screen, it looked amazing. Visually, it looked absolutely amazing. Leonardo DiCaprio, always good in anything he is. To be honest, in this movie, not too memorable for me.
I agree.
The premise of the movie, let me just get to that one really quick. The premise of the movie, what is that Bill and the priest are this character named the priest.
Who is Leo's character's dad.
Who's Leo's character's dad, Amsterdam's dad. Yes. They have their own gang, so Bill is part of the natives. The priest is a part of the immigrants and everything like that. They have this battle at the beginning of the movie. Butcher kills the priest in front of Amsterdam, who is Leo, so in front of his son. And from there, we take off 16 years later. We find out Leo comes back to the 5 points because he's been away for a little bit. And he basically befriends Bill, and Bill almost takes him in as like an adopted son. He comes to liking him.
Pretty much does, yeah.
Pretty much. And from there, we get our story, and the physicality that Daniel Day-Lewis did as Bill the Butcher was kind of scary, to be honest. When he was wielding those knives, and I thought to myself...
He is an actual butcher, like he butchers meat.
So
he has knives a lot.
Yeah, so I thought to myself, damn, because apparently Daniel also prepared for this movie by going 3 months learning how to be a butcher and everything like that. And I'm thinking, dude, you are too comfortable with those knives. So even whenever Leo is laying on the table, bro, and he's hitting the knives right next to his head, I thought, bro, there's no CGI there. That's all real. Yeah. Like, you're really trusting this man to put knives right next to your head. Mm-hmm. I'm rambling on. I'm sorry. But yeah, this movie, I really enjoyed. I'm glad I finally watched it.
No, yeah, I agree with everything you said. I mean, like what you said about how good it looked. When you said it's a place you would never want to go, like, yes, bro, it looked gross. It looked like the ghetto, and that's what was so good about it, because that's what people say. It was like that at that time. And so Martin Scorsese did a fantastic job of making it for real look like how I don't know if it actually looked like that, but I would assume if it is how it looked, he did a fantastic job at it. Daniel Day-Lewis was the best part for me in this movie. I expected more from Leo, but like I don't think that's his fault. I think that's just the way they wrote the character. The way the movie started off, I thought, oh shit, I'm into this bitch. Like I kind of think about how like when we watched Gladiator, and Gladiator started off with this big old battle, and you were like, oh yeah, like this is gonna be great, and then obviously it slows down a lot. I kind of felt that way for this movie because the battle right off the bat. So pretty much, Liam Neeson comes out with his whole squad. Right, it's a big ass group of immigrant people, and then they come out and there's no one there, and then you just see one person walk out, one person walk out, one person. And so Daniel Day-Lewis is Bill the Butcher cutting. His character comes out, and he's got a whole squad of native people. And so pretty much it's just gang and gang, bro. And then they just fight. And so right away I'm just like, oh shit, like this movie's gonna be great. And Liam Neeson dies, and I thought he was gonna be more in the movie, but no, he dies in the beginning. And then that sets the show for Leo to grow up, and then it's a typical story where the son comes back to get revenge for his dad. But after that, I felt like there was moments where like it was good, and then there were some moments where it dragged on, and then there were some moments where it was good, and then there were some moments where it dragged on. Cameron Diaz was in the movie. I didn't know if you said that the other day, but I was surprised when I saw her. I was like, oh shit, there's Cameron Diaz.
I don't think I remember saying it, but I didn't know she was in it.
Yeah, I didn't know she was in it either. It looks like a young Cameron Diaz. She did a great job as well, as she's like a little pocket thief or whatever they call him. And she ends up being Amsterdam's love interest. I thought that whole thing was cool too, but not also. It didn't really do it for me at the same time. And what I did like was when Leo was in the group and he got into Bill the Butcher's gang. And I liked how he was gaining trust, and then Bill the Butcher even told him, like, I never had a son, but like he pretty much said, I see you as a son. And then all of a sudden, the one dude snitches on him, and then like I'm expecting like this big old thing or something, but Bill the Butcher just whoops his ass pretty much. Just to skip forward, he whips Leo's ass, and then we don't see Leo, and then he gets with the Irish. Like I just expected a little bit more like storytelling as far as I would have preferred it. I think a little bit different. Like Leo at the end finally gets it or something, or I don't know. But I guess yeah, he does need to build up his army, so that would be the way to build up his army. And then at the end, when they have their final battle, I wanted it to be just like the first battle that we see on TV. And it's not anything like that.
No.
But I get it because there's other things that are going on in this time period, right? Like there's a civil war that's going on. And so you get to see little pockets of they tell about the story, the Civil War, but it's just like a little side thing and they don't go too deep into it, right? Like you see multiple times in the movie where they're recruiting soldiers and they're like, hey, you want to join the army? 3 meals a day. And they're getting the poor people, bro. They're literally just getting them and putting them on the boats and shipping them off. And if you don't, and then they reveal, because I didn't know that this was a thing. The only way to get out of it was you have to pay $300.
Yeah,
pay $300 and you don't have to get drafted. But if you don't have that $300 and they come up to your doorstep, that's a wrap. You have to go. And they show that part, and they're in the ghetto, and none of the people in the ghetto have $300. And so I thought that was cool. So that's all going on, right? And so then everyone gets pissed, and so then they rebel, and then there becomes this whole thing, right? And so whenever you get to the final battle, there's another thing going on where like the army has to come in and get these rebels, or I don't know what you would call them, but they're rebelling, and they start bombing the place. That just ruined the whole like final battle for me. And so then you have Amsterdam and Bill. They have to fight in between like all this other shit going on. Like pretty much everybody else just runs. They take cover because like they're gonna die. And then Bill the Butcher and Amsterdam fight. Even that fight, like I was expecting like more, I guess. So that was mainly my biggest critique. So that's why I'd probably give like a 7. It was a good movie. I looked up actually what people think about this movie, and it's like they have it in Martin Scorsese's. I think it's like rated number 18 out of all his movies. So people are like mixed about it. Some people love it, and then some people don't really like it. I read a lot of people don't like it. Like I was reading a lot of people's comments. I wouldn't say I don't like it, but I'd say I'd give it like a 7. I don't think it's better than Gladiator.
What was I going to say? I think for the standout, no matter what, everything that, I mean, even for us, the standout and the takeaway from this was Daniel Day-Lewis as Bill the Butcher. I think
he was the best part.
That's just the draw from the whole movie.
And how good it looked visually.
Yes, visually. Even behind the scenes, they were talking about they built everything. They built everything on set, and even they said George Lucas, who was a friend of Martin Scorsese, came to set and was like, "You really did all this." He was like,
It looks
"You
great.
know, there's CGI now," because this is the thing about whenever this movie was made in 2002. This movie was made in 2002, and George Lucas is telling him, "You know, there's computers that can do this," and he goes, "Yeah, well." He goes, "I mean, I want to do this," and he was like, "Okay, this has to be one of the last like movies that have been able to do this type of thing." Now, how true is that? I don't know. This is just what George Lucas said from that, the making of and everything like that. Apparently, the only thing that he has CGI is there's some elephant that goes through town or something like that. That's the only thing that's CGI.
That's the only part I could tell. Okay, that was fake. But everything else looked. Yeah, everything else
apparently
looked
George Lucas like, "I'll help you out with that," so he helped him put an elephant on set.
Yes.
Overall, like I said, I'm glad I finally watched this movie. I really am.
Yeah, it was good. I wouldn't say I don't like it, but I would say it's like a 7. I don't know what are some of Martin Scorsese's movies.
So you got Goodfellas, you have Gangs of New York.
I need to watch Goodfellas. I've never seen Goodfellas.
The Irishman, which I know you
Never seen Irishman.
Yeah, that's 3 hours long.
Yeah,
I've watched.
I
it
feel
twice.
like all his movies are long though, right?
Dude, even this movie was supposed to be 3 hours and 40 minutes, but Harvey Weinstein told him, "You better cut that shit down."
Bro, it was 2 hours and 40 some minutes.
He wanted it to be an hour longer. What you call it? What did I say?
Oh, you said Irishman. You said Goodfellas.
Bro,
you said,
one of our all-time favorites, Wolf of Wall Street.
Yes,
he did that one too.
Even that one's long.
Yeah, even that one's long, but gosh, it's so
that's
good,
a great
bro.
movie.
Damn, he did Casino. Casino has Robert De Niro in it or whatever.
I need to go through and watch a bunch of his movies because when I saw it was 18, I thought okay, so he must have a lot better.
Taxi
this one
Driver
wasn't bad.
Yeah, Taxi Driver. He also did Taxi Driver and Raging Bull. I think he did Raging Bull, and then what's the new one right now out?
He did one recently with Leo, right?
Yeah, was it Killers of the Flower Moon or whatever?
Yes, we saw. I never watched that one. I don't
it's
know
on Apple. I have the free thing, and I need to watch it before it goes up next month.
Okay. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
We'll pick another one next week.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. But last night we did see Abigail, and that movie, bro, was fun, dude. I had a fantastic I had a fantastic time with seeing Abigail.
Yeah.
I don't know what I thought going into the movie, like what I expected, but I think I went into it with low expectations, and I think it exceeded them tremendously. I have some of the cast here. Matt Bettinelli, Alpin, and Tyler Gallett were directors. I think they call themselves Radio Silence. They did Ready or Not. I don't know if you saw that one. It's kind of the same premise. Like this woman, she marries into this family, and the day of the wedding, the husband's family has to hunt her down. Like it's a ritual. Alicia Ware as Abigail, fantastic. Melissa Barrera as Joey, Dan Stevens as Frank, Catherine Newton as Sammy, Kevin Durant as Peter, Angus Cloud as Dean, and Giancarlo Esposito as Lambert. Oh, also they did the latest Scream movies, and so that makes sense why Melissa Barrera would be the main girl in the movie. I mean, bro, so the standouts for me in this movie cast wise, Alicia Ware as Abigail. Fantastic job. What a little creepy ass little girl.
She did a great job.
She did a great job. And then I really liked Dan Stevens as Frank. I thought he did a fantastic job. Melissa Barrera as the main character, she did a pretty good job as well. But dude, so I mean, we just want to go full spoilers on it, or I mean, it's been out for like 2 weeks already. So pretty much, you want to get into the premise of it all?
So the premise of it is you have 6 would be henchmen or whatever. They all come together. They don't know each other. They all get brought together by Lambert, right?
Yes, Lambert. Yeah, they hire them to kidnap this girl.
Yeah, they kidnap this. I don't know. He's like a drug lord, a warlord, or just a very rich man's daughter.
Powerful guy.
Very powerful guy who apparently has a reputation,
right?
But they don't know who the father is. They just kidnapped this little girl. They were told to kidnap her, take her to this mansion, which is a very creepy ass mansion, and babysit her. You're going to stay here for 24 hours till we're able to get this negotiation, till we're able to get this money, and then we're all going to split the money, go our separate ways, never hear from each other again. Sounds simple. Little do they know, the little girl turns out to be a killing vampire, who's also a little ballerina, bro.
So that's the whole plan, right?
Yeah.
So all these people have somehow, some way wronged their family, and so I guess because later on you see like a pool of dead bodies. I guess this is just like a thing that they do annually, and so it's a whole plan. They get this plan together to kidnap this girl, bring her to the house. They lock them all in, and she gets to pretty much just pick them all apart one by one.
Yeah, because it later finds out that she's behind everything.
Yes.
She's not just some helpless little girl. Once you find out she's a vampire, she's lets you know, I've been alive for centuries.
She did such a good job with that too, by the way.
Yes, that whole
little
monologue.
The little switch of her being a little girl and being all innocent and stuff, and then to where, and she even turned them against each other throughout. Like they're over here thinking who's who, and so. And then when she does switch to the vampire, it's just like a little creepy, just ugh. And the fact that she's a ballerina too, bro, also made it even more creepy, because I'm telling you, like, while she's chasing you, she's doing like the little twist and the little jumps, and I just thought, ugh, like, bro, that would be so scary. I thought the whole cast overall, though, like the whole crew that they picked. So these are, keep in mind, these are people, like the group is people that they don't know each other.
Yeah.
They have specific talents, and they hired each person for a certain task. And the whole cast, I felt like, just had great chemistry. Like as far as like all the jokes, everything just hit well, in my opinion. There was multiple times in the movie where I felt like it was funny, but also you still had like horror elements, but also you had like, because it was gory, dude.
Oh, it was very gory.
Like there were, but also not like gory to where it's like you're gonna throw up, but gory to where it's like oh shit, like like they had great kills. Like
yeah.
I thought it was great, bro. I saw people like it, and then some people didn't like it. My opinion, I think as long as you don't take it serious, I think it's good.
No, yeah, like I know. I think we talked about it before. Is just like it draws you. It really does. And I think for me too, or both of us, we didn't really watch too much of the trailers. I only watched one trailer, and that's all I needed. And plus, hearing the hype behind it, I was like, yeah, I'm definitely down to see this movie. Sure. Just like you, it blew my expectations. I really enjoyed this movie. It was a fun time at the theater, honestly. There were so many times where me and Emily, my wife Emily, were just sitting next to each other going, oh, bro, yeah, like this is insane. It was just so crazy and bonkers at times. But when I say they draw you in, they make it seem like at the beginning of this movie, this is going to be a very serious, toned-down movie. They're kidnapping a little kid. You're thinking, oh, bro, this is kind of crazy to see unravel and everything. What are they going to do with her? Just for it to switch. And once it switches, you're already drawn in. You're already fully invested. At that point, the directors and everyone, they probably said, screw it. Now we're just going to go balls to the wall. Whatever happens, and we're just going to bring you along for this ride. It's a fun time at the movies.
Because, like you said, it starts off serious, and then it slowly, you start to have like little moments where they're funny, and then it gets to a point where it's like the movie's just off the walls, like, and you just accept it. Like, you're just like, oh shit, like, okay, like, because I mean, even at the end, bro, you get so there's 3 people. They try to make 4 people into vampires, and it ends up being, I think, 3. So you have Sammy, Catherine Newton, who's, by the way, is Ant-Man's daughter in the MCU.
Cassie.
She's Sammy. She turns into a vampire as well. She was creepy,
very
because
creepy.
she was doing the whole ballerina shit as well. And then you find out Lambert is a vampire, so he turns Frank into a vampire. And then Frank tries to turn the main character, Melissa Barrera, Joey, into a vampire, and then that doesn't work. And then Joey kills the person, I guess because she killed the person that turned her. I guess she didn't turn into a vampire.
Yeah.
I don't know. They don't really explain it that much. But overall, it gets crazy at the end. But I thought it worked. Like it's just it's a vampire movie, first of all, bro. So it's like, why is anyone taking it serious? And then the fact that we're just seeing vampires fight each other, I thought it was great. The fact that they turned Dan Stevens, who plays Frank, into the vampire, I thought was good, because the whole time, I don't know about you, but the whole time you kind of feel like something's off with him. And then Abigail mentions that he used to work, and he was like an informant or something, or he was undercover, right, in the family
for her family.
Yeah, and then like and then Melissa Barrera constantly throughout the movie is like thinking that he's the bad guy multiple times. And he establishes himself that he's not. And then at the end, he's like, fuck it, bite me. And he turns into the bad guy that I thought he would turn into. So I thought it was great, bro. I really enjoyed the movie. You want to rank it?
Yeah, sure.
Ranking for Abigail, 3, 2, 1,
9.
8. I give it like 8.
Yeah, 9. I feel like it's just a going, just because, like I said, we don't take it too serious. It's a fun time at the movie theaters. Some great kills, creepy like dialogue from this little girl, whoever. I think, bro, if
she did a great job.
If you're gonna be like this, bro, you're gonna be a star one day. Like, this is incredible. The whole ensemble of the cast, phenomenal job. Who is it? Like you said, Dan Stevens was phenomenal. Who played Peter? What's his name?
Kevin Durant.
every time he pops up, I end up liking him. It's always made small roles. It's never in like a lead character, but he's also great.
He was in Walking Tall. Do you remember Walking Tall?
Bro,
Every time I see him, I think about Walking Tall.
He's so good in that one too. And unfortunately, this is the last project for
Angus.
Yeah, and this is the last time he worked for.
He did a great job.
Phenomenal job. I mean, what you expect from him to be just a comedic relief type thing in a very chill type way.
He's one of those people, bro, that's like when he goes to act, he's just being himself.
Yeah, I truly just believe you're just being told to read lines. You're not supposed to act. You're just, hey, just read this.
Read this how you would say it. And like it comes off like funny, you know, and he did a great job. I mean, rest in peace, dude. It sucks that he passed. And then we had Giancarlo Esposito as Lambert. He was a small role.
But even in that, I thought, bro, you're just so cool.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a great movie, dude. You want to move on to WWE?
Yeah, let's go for it.
We had first night of the WWE Draft. We missed it because we went to go see Abigail. I would say it's worth it.
Abigail was worth it.
Abigail was great, and the draft ended up being pretty underwhelming, I feel.
Yeah.
I can get into the names here that got drafted. Pretty much everybody stayed on the same brand. We had a few switches. Bianca Belair drafted to SmackDown. Jey Uso drafted to Raw. Carmelo Hayes to SmackDown. Seth Rollins to Raw. Randy Orton to SmackDown. Braun Breaker to Raw. Nia Jax to SmackDown. Liv Morgan to Raw. LA Knight to SmackDown. Ricochet to Raw. The Bloodline to SmackDown. Sheamus to Raw. AJ Styles to SmackDown. Alpha Academy to Raw. Andrade to SmackDown. And Kiana James to Raw. That was on the episode. We had a few afterwards, like we had Baron Corbin get drafted to SmackDown, the OC get drafted to SmackDown, Ivar got drafted to Raw. Pretty much everybody stayed on the same brand, which I thought, why? What was the point of the draft then if we're doing this? The only people that got switched were Carmelo Hayes got called up to SmackDown, which I remember him getting called up to SmackDown around the time Braun Breaker signed to SmackDown. I thought they both were getting called to SmackDown, so that's not anything new. Braun Breaker did get to Raw. Moved to Raw. Nia Jax moved to SmackDown. Andrade moved to SmackDown, and then Kiana James got called up from NXT to Raw. Overall, though, pretty underwhelming in my opinion.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on Bianca being the first round pick?
See, like even that, like I'm not saying she doesn't deserve to be the number one pick, and that's her whole stick, right? She's the EST. She's the bestest, the greatest, the whatever. Which that's brilliant, by the way.
The fastest, the strongest.
Like so. As a number one pick, though, like, so I thought it was going to be Roman. I told you, we saw multiple people on Twitter saying that Roman's moving to Raw. And I'm thinking, how are they going to move Roman to Raw if SmackDown gets the number one pick and Cody can't be the number one pick because the champions are locked down? So it'd be Roman. And he withdrew. So I guess that's how they get out of picking the number one pick. So he's staying on SmackDown because he withdrew. So at that point, just make him the number one pick.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm okay with it. I mean, she's great, but I just, I think the number one pick, really, like, I mean, you could have got her. Like,
who was the second for Raw? Was it Seth?
The number one pick for Raw, or what do you mean?
Yeah, I guess the number one pick for Raw.
Was was Jey Uso.
That's right. Yes, that's right.
See, like even that one, like no disrespect to Jey Uso, and he's great. Main event Jey Uso, like he's great and he's done great things, but. The number one pick? I mean, you're taking him over Seth Rollins, or you're taking him over Drew McIntyre? That doesn't really. I don't know. Even over CM Punk, really.
Yeah.
I guess some of them were eligible, right? They're eligible on Monday night because there was like a certain pool for. Okay.
Yeah. So we'll get more as far as where everyone else is going for Monday, and as far as eligibility. How long is the draft? Is it going to go until next Friday, right?
Going until Monday.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I thought it was going
Monday.
Next
they
Friday.
have a huge pool, and I mean it's 3 hours, so we're gonna get a lot of picks.
Yeah.
Overall, dude, I thought it was whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I think Abigail was worth it.
Yeah,
I think Abigail was definitely worth the missing. The whole rule sets they had with it. The teams go together. There is no, splitting up.
Yeah, like they drafted the Bloodline. I'm sure Raw would draft the Judgment Day.
Yeah. And then how Roman was taken away from it. He was ineligible for it or whatever. He withdrew. Paul Heyman said he withdrew from it. And then Bianca being the first pick, not mad at it. I guess it makes sense. She does have the draw for it. But, I mean, I really thought, I agreed with you. I thought it was going to be Roman for it, but with him being withdrawn, but it's just still pick him.
Yeah,
just keep
I'm excited for Nia Jax to be on SmackDown. I feel like there's a lot of women wrestlers on there that the potential is there for you get a whole new set of women to give her, and then that sets up her and Jade.
I was just gonna say her and Jade, bro.
Yep. So that sets that up. Do you have like a certain draft that you feel like is your favorite, like of all time? Like when you think of the WWE draft, do you think of a moment that you love the most, or a specific draft that you thought was cool?
No, okay, as far as full draft, as far as which years they were, I don't remember. I just remember key elements.
Yeah.
Like, so key ones was, I think it was the first draft they did, and then Ric Flair said that we draft The Undertaker, and I just remember him in the back, bro.
He got drafted to SmackDown, right?
I thought he got drafted to Raw. He got drafted to
yes.
Raw because Rick was the man.
Raw, yes.
Yeah. So he got drafted, and everyone all turned around, looked at him, and everything.
That was a short stint because he ended up going back to SmackDown.
Yeah, he got out of that. That was a good one. And then I think you would agree with this one too. John Cena being drafted or whatever. That was a great one. Jericho introducing him. I thought that was a good, memorable one. But those are the only two that really stand out. I guess I haven't really thought too much into that one.
I was gonna say my favorite overall draft, and it's not because I remember specifically every single person moving, but I thought it was cool when in the John Cena one that you mentioned, that was the different type of draft where every week we got a person that would show up on a different brand, and that's how you knew that they were drafted. So like obviously I remember John Cena getting drafted to Raw because Chris Jericho brought him out. Batista got drafted to SmackDown. Randy Orton got drafted to SmackDown, and he showed up and RKO'd The Undertaker, and that's how we found out he got drafted to SmackDown. Like I thought that stuff was cool because you got to see other wrestlers just show up, and that's how they would announce it. And then behind the scenes, people would get moved. So I found an article because I looked up like best WWE drafts, and SC Scoops is like a wrestling page or something, I don't know, and they put WWE, they put the top 5 draft picks of all time, like I guess by impact.
Okay.
So they put so I don't know if these are in order. They just have 5. Maybe they are. So they have Triple H at number 5 in 2008.
Okay.
He got drafted to SmackDown, which that was crazy because our whole childhood, Triple H was Raw, bro. He was always Raw. And then in 2004, I remember that one vividly when he got drafted to SmackDown, and he had he came out with the SmackDown shirt and he wrestled Eddie Guerrero, and then the Raw and SmackDown came out and they all started fighting, and then come to find out on SmackDown, I'm excited to see Triple H, and no, they traded him back to Raw.
Yeah.
And they traded him for Rob Van Dam, Booker T, and the Dudley Boys. I remember that shit. So yeah, that was a big one, him going to SmackDown. John Cena, 2005, they had that as number 4. That was crazy. I mean, that was the start, dude. That was the start of John Cena. He's the face of the company.
Yep.
That was the beginning of it. They have Finn Balor in 2016. I guess because he was in NXT for a really long time.
Oh, okay.
And
so
he
him
got
getting
drafted
drafted
up to the main roster, and he ended up winning the Universal Champion. He was the first one. They have Batista, 2005 as well. He went over to SmackDown, and that started his career as a main guy. And then Roman Reigns in 2019 got moved to SmackDown. That was a big one too. And then that ultimately led us to what we saw as a Tribal Chief, bro, the greatest run of all time, arguably. So those are five main picks that they remember.
That's a good list.
Yeah, those are. I'm trying to think. I mean, I can't really think of any ones that seem bigger than those out of all the drafts I've seen.
No, I can't think of any of them, to be honest.
I used to like. Didn't they do one where they had like the actual thing and they'd pick a name out of the thing and then they.
That was for the Royal Rumble.
Was it? I thought they did one for the draft
because they're able to get the their numbers picked.
Right. Yeah, I remember that, but I thought for the draft one time they did that. I could be wrong. Yeah, we'll see how Monday goes. I hope it's a lot better.
Yeah, and then with that, with SmackDown also they announced so for some cards for Backlash, bro. We got some new matches for that. I mean, the one we already saw. I mean, they had the contract signing and everything like that between Cody and AJ. So Cody and AJ at Backlash. They also talked about Randy KO versus Solo and Tamatonga, right? Is that how I pronounce his name?
Tamatonga, yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
And we have Bayley, Naomi versus Tiffany for the
I think
WWE.
that's going to be a great match.
That's going to be a good one, dude. As much as I want Tiffany to win, I know she ain't winning that shit, bro. Bayley's going to retain that. And then we have the Kabuki Warriors versus Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair for the tag team champions.
Which I think they're winning the tag.
Oh, yeah, bro. They're going to get those belts because they are hot right now, bro. People love Jade and
You think
Belair.
they add another match to that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll see.
I would assume they probably add like Sammy.
Yeah. Because I was going to say, because it's not like how it used to be back in the day where SmackDown had their pay-per-views and Raw had
I think they all
now
it's
just whatever. So yeah, we're going to get matches popping up on
Oh,
Raw.
I guess you're right. Those all are SmackDown matches, aren't they?
Well, that's why I was going to say, like, are we going to get?
I guess you're right. I didn't think about that. I would assume they add Sammy and Chad Gable maybe.
Yeah.
I know it's not gonna be Logan. I think Logan hasn't been on TV specifically because he's not gonna go to France. Because that's next week, right?
Yeah, next week.
So I assume probably they'll do Raw and then they'll leave out. I assume they'll shoot out. Oh, maybe that's why they're doing only SmackDown people because Raw will be here on Monday. Maybe the SmackDown people are leaving right away to France. I mean, I assume it's a long flight. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, they could still do Raw, but without some of the top talent. I mean, they've done it before.
Yeah,
they just did it this past week because, I mean, half of them were
but they're going to be there
overseas.
for the draft, right? That's why they made the pool small. And so all the people that are already done are going to France. I don't know. That's true. I didn't think about that. You're right. That is only SmackDown people on the Backlash card. This card kind of seems whatever to me, in my opinion. Backlash. The hype for it is kind of whatever. I think it maybe because it's so close to WrestleMania, I feel.
Oh, bro, this is random. So last night I had a dream. And it was talking in the dream we were discussing pay-per-views and like how we said the goal for this year is wanting to go to an out-of-state pay-per-view. Yeah. And I think what triggered the dream is last night Emily was just searching on Ticketmaster and she's like, oh yeah, Cleveland, Ohio for SummerSlam. And I was like, yeah. And so in the dream, we got the announcement, bro. Survivor Series. Dallas, Texas.
That would be great. Bro. I mean, I would love to go out of state, but I mean, shit, if it was in Dallas, that'd be way more convenient.
I just remember seeing that, freaking out. Emily's like, okay, I'm gonna sign up for the the pre-sale stuff. This is, and I instantly called you and said, get on your phone, get on your phone, and we were freaking out with the phone. I was like, bro, they're in Dallas for Survivor Series. That is incredible. So I just thought. I was like, bro, that was such a wild dream.
I would love to go out of state because I do think it would be cool just to go to out of state.
That'd be a good memory type thing.
Yeah. But yeah, shit. I mean, if they were in Dallas, they would make it hella easier. Shit. I mean, watch. This was gonna happen. Watch. Survivor Series will release the tickets, right, or whatever pay per view that we decide to go to, and we'll buy tickets. We'll do that shit, and then watch. They're gonna announce another pay per view, and that shit gonna be in Dallas.
That's why we buy the insurance and we cancel.
Yeah, I do want to try to go, but yeah, dude. Hopefully the draft is better. We had some other things happen wrestling wise. Vince McMahon sold all his shares, bro.
The name we don't speak of.
Officially done with Vince McMahon in WWE. Isn't that crazy?
He was
wild. There. He was. I mean, arguably, bro, he's responsible for our whole childhood.
We've said that before. That during this whole controversy stuff with Vince McMahon, where it's the name we don't speak. It's the name that no one wants to talk about. It's basically just become a stain on WWE. But at the same time, he is why we're here.
Why we're here. I mean, he's why we are at where we are at now.
Yeah.
Like why WWE is the biggest. Now, granted, I mean, there's been some changes and that's helped elevate WWE as well. But like without him back then, we wouldn't even have been in the spot, right, to make changes. It's just crazy. He's officially sold all his shares. I tell you what, rich ass motherfucker though. He was already rich, and now he's even more rich.
Oh yeah, bro. He playing a tiny violin right now, bro. He's so heartbroken.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna go off and do whatever he's gonna do, and I mean, it sucks. It sucks how it ended, but at the same time, I get why WWE they've completely erased him completely.
Yeah.
And then we also had Nick Khan. WWE President Nick Khan has filed to sell what appears to be all of his holdings, 234,424 shares in the TKO Group holdings.
Why?
So that's what. So some people are saying just because it's higher now, and maybe he wants to sell, and that doesn't mean he's going to leave. But I just find it weird that he's the president of WWE and he's selling all of his shares. Like that just doesn't usually happen
unless something is about to happen.
I mean, you think he's going to leave?
Well, so I remember.
Or are you saying something like bad to WWE, or what are you saying?
Something like what if he's behind something bad too that we just that's going about to come.
Maybe he's involved with the Vince stuff.
I don't know because I feel like stuff kind of like happens and you're just like it's kind of out of left field, and then like a week from now you find out something.
You find out why.
Vince, the same stuff happened with Vince. We were finding out that he was wanting to sell and everything like that. They're trying to sell WWE, and we're thinking, why the hell is Vince McMahon trying to sell WWE? What's going on? Come to find out, the whole allegations pop up. Nick Khan, I'm not saying anything like this is true or anything. This is just why the hell is he going to sell? And it could just be like you said, it's just high right now. He's going to make a profit off of it. Who cares? He's still going to run WWE or anything like that, but. Why?
I do find it weird. I mean, I just feel like, typically you just don't see that. Like, you don't see people sell their shit unless they're finna dip. And, I don't know. I mean, part of me is, so I love how we're in this Triple H era, and we'll get into the stuff to this next topic later, but I just feel like what's scary about it is we are so dependent right now on Triple H and Nick Khan. Now, and I'm sure there's people behind the scenes too that play a big part that just aren't, in the spotlight. But like, if something happens and like Nick Khan decides to leave, or Triple H is like, for my health, I can't do this anymore. Like, I'm so scared of where WWE goes after that. And I mean, to see Nick Khan sell his shares, I'm not saying he's gonna leave, and I'm not saying I'm scared that he's gonna leave or whatever, but because we still have Triple H. But I'm just saying, like, those two, when you think of this popularity that WWE is right now, I feel like you think of Triple H and you think of Nick Khan.
Yeah.
So to lose one, you start to think, oh shit, and then that just means bro yourself with Triple H. And what if Triple H leaves? Like, I don't know. So
and then we already know who's gonna take over, bro.
Who?
The final boss. The Rock.
Oh. I don't know. I'm not saying Nick Khan's going to leave, and this is just a tweet that is going around Twitter, but I'm just saying it is weird that he's selling all his shares.
It's random.
Yeah. And then next tweet that we got is The Rock's work during the build to WrestleMania. Heyman's Hall of Fame speech are considered the official end of the PG era in WWE.
We are back, baby.
Now, not to say TV shows will be changing as a decision hasn't been made, but it's something talked about in WWE as WWE nears the Netflix deal.
Yeah, we're about to go to the G era. No,
so, how does it feel? I mean,
it's
look,
wild,
dude. Me and you grew up with the Ruthless Aggression era. We grew up seeing some stuff we probably weren't supposed to see in WWE. To switch to the PG era, I think we both can say that was a time where both of us didn't really resonate with WWE as much as we did when we were kids. Like, it's like let's say as hot as wrestling is right now, let's say if it continued after the Ruthless Aggression era, I think we would have been still just as invested into it as growing up as teens. But then it switched to PG, and we're teenagers at that point. So like for me, I just thought, bro, I'm not trying to see this. Like as a kid, I saw worse stuff, and now as a teenager, I'm seeing little kid stuff. As now to hear that the PG era is over, I mean, it's kind of just, I just think back like, bro, WWE went through some tough times during those years.
Yeah, the start of the PG era is slowly built up, and then they went full force, like the prime of their PG era. As the years, what was it? Maybe 2010 to 2000. Let's say like what? 15, 18,
yeah, I would
something
say,
like that.
I mean, I would say even more. I would say even more years were hardcore PG.
Because like towards 2019 or I feel like even 18, 19, I feel like we started kind of coming back to where it started getting a little more adultish. And then you had the whole COVID era and everything like that. That's completely different. But even with, I mean, think about it, even like wrestling last year, that's considered PG, but we were so good.
I would say WWE slowly within the past few years has been getting out of it. Like I would say during Roman's,
this isn't just something that's like going.
Yeah, I would say during Roman's thing, but definitely this past WrestleMania made it go.
I was gonna say during Roman's reign.
I would say this past the Rock situation and Paul Heyman's speech, I would say for sure. I thought, oh shit, but also Rock has let out some cuss words here and there. There's been a few wrestlers that have let out some cuss words here and there,
and every time I hear it, I was saying, yes, bro, finally some real emotion. Just make it real. Yeah. I want to see segments again where I just think, bro, that's real, bro.
So now that PG era is over, you think WWE goes TV 14 again?
Yeah, I can see.
Part
it happening.
of me feels
especially
like I just
with
don't think they will.
Well, even with the PG, because I feel like even with the last run of the PG era, it's like they got away with a lot.
I was gonna say,
it's like you can kind of push the envelope. You just don't show too much, but you can kind of push it a little bit.
I was gonna say maybe they stay PG, but certain segments they just put the TV 14 thing in the corner and let people know, hey, we're switching to, like maybe some segments are TV 14, but the overall product itself maybe stays PG. SmackDown, I would assume, since it's gonna be on cable TV, will stay PG.
Yeah,
because even back then, I've told you before, even back then when WWE was TV 14, SmackDown a lot of times was PG. They had some segments that were TV 14, but for the most part, they were on cable, so they were SmackDown. Raw got to be on Spike, and Spike, so Spike TV back then was a men's channel, so that's how they got to press a lot of the things that they did. But SmackDown always has been PG for the most part.
No, but like how you said earlier, bro. We grew up in that Ruthless era. We had to inform some people on YouTube. We grew up around the Ruthless era because they didn't like our belts. But we saw some stuff we weren't supposed to see. We grew up with some stuff we weren't, listening to stuff we weren't supposed to hear. But it made us the fans we were.
Yeah.
And I think when it came to the PG era, WWE definitely targeted towards the younger demographic, and rightfully so.
That was hard
They-
times for
it-
me,
it-
but it made them so much more money.
It made them bigger than ever, dude. I feel like they knew what they're doing, and it's almost like they grew up with them. So the kids they drew around that PG era, they're obviously getting older, so they're like, all right, screw it. We're going to grow up with y'all, and we're going to get back to where our bread and butter is.
Yeah.
And I can't say bread and butter because I mean they're hotter than ever right now, and it is technically the PG era. Good, bro. If it's over, cool. Let's just see what happens next. I have faith in whatever Paul Levesque and Nick Khan, if he's still there.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what's scary. It's like because I think if we lose one person or if we lose these two people, because these are the two people that you hear about the most, like as to why WWE is successful the way it is now, and to think like, bro, if we lose one or two of them, like, I don't know what WWE does after that. So, and it's not like we have a McMahon there to get, like, that's it, dude. There are no more McMahons in there,
It's just wild.
which is crazy.
Like when I told my parents that a while back, I think it was like a couple weeks ago, we brought up how there is no McMahon in WWE. Even my mom, who does she
Same
just
for my
knows
parents.
she just knows I'm a wrestling fan or whatever. She respects it. She's cool with it, but she doesn't know much. She just the name Vince McMahon type thing. Even with her going, wow,
Yeah,
there
same
is
for my
no
parents.
McMahon in WWE. I'm just like, there's no McMahon in WWE, which is wild.
It's
and
just
then
crazy
my
to
dad was
think
like, what
about.
about Shane? And I was like, he gone.
Yeah.
He gone. Steph, gone.
Which Shane has been away for a while.
Yeah, he's been away, but I mean, still though.
Yeah.
He got injured at 39.
Gosh, dude, that was awful. I felt so bad.
I felt horrible.
I felt
to
so
watch
bad
bro.
that segment because it was supposed to be like a cool segment. He was finna whoop on the Miz, and
He got-
then
he got
he
that
tore
pop.
his ACL, right, or
Yeah.
something.
Just by hitting the ropes.
Yeah, jeez, dude, Dom, he may have to get Tommy John surgery.
Did he already have the surgery? Or
Well, he put on his Twitter that he's not gonna have to have surgery, but I hope
Oh.
it's not one of those things where it's like, because we've seen multiple times where wrestlers put off getting surgeries, and then eventually they have to get it later, and it just ends up turning into a longer recovery.
I feel like a lot of wrestlers right now, dude. It's almost like they all waited to, like, they had these injuries, but they're like,
Waited till
just
Mania.
have to get past Mania.
Yeah.
Once we get that, once I can at least be on that show, set up whatever storyline we need to set up, end whatever storyline we need to end, I'm gonna take care of myself.
I know that's the case for Seth.
Yeah,
Seth MVP at WrestleMania, bro. I think he had it. I think I saw somewhere they had tears in both his knees or something like that, and he barely, bro. He looked beat up.
Bro, he
by the
went
time he
out
was
and
done with
wrestled
Mania.
45 minutes with Drew, wrestled the night before with Cody, and
Was that with his match with Drew 45 minutes?
Becky.
I think
said
that's
something
the
like
first night.
that. Oh, I thought Becky said it was 45 with Drew.
I don't think so. I felt like it was a shorter match because
No.
Drew just whooped his ass for the majority of the time. Anyways, Seth's main event. But yeah, you're right. I mean, I guess Rhea's was by accident.
No, yeah, I was going to mention that too, but Rhea was freak accident.
I know Dom. I've seen multiple times people say, bro, this motherfucker wrestles every night pretty much.
Yeah.
Like even on the road, like he
Yeah.
is wrestling every night. And Rhea, I think during Impulsive said that he wrestles probably like 5 times a week. So that sucks. I hope it's not a serious injury. I think he's gonna still be on TV though.
Yeah, that's what his tweet saying. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, but he said he doesn't need surgery. That's what I'm saying. I hope it's not like a thing where it's like he doesn't get the surgery and then later on it comes to bite him in the ass. Because he's getting Tommy John surgery, or he would need Tommy John surgery, and Tommy John surgery is like a lot of baseball players get that.
Because the pitcher, right?
Yeah, but their recovery is a lot longer because they have to throw. Dom doesn't have to throw, so like just get the surgery, be out for a few months, and then his recovery should be fine. I don't know, dude. I just hope a lot of people don't get hurt. You saw the segment with Cody and Carmelo Hayes last night, and people thought Cody hurt his shoulder.
Yeah, because they both did the same move off the ropes, and Carmelo recovered fast as hell.
Carmelo,
and then
Cody was selling the shoulder.
Yeah.
You think he was selling, or you think he actually hurt it?
I
think he was selling.
I think he was selling too.
But he was selling really good because it did look like he hurt himself.
Yeah. So I rewatched it multiple times. So I'm like, even the way he landed, I'm like, oh, he really did land on that shoulder.
I'm sure it did hurt. I'm sure he was just like, "Fuck, that hurt." But hopefully it's not a big deal.
I don't know what I'd say if he actually.
Dude,
hurt.
imagine if he goes out, bro, and we
I don't-
lose Cody, Roman, and Seth, and Rhea.
Hey, Roman, you need to get your ass back from Disney World, bro. Come back and
Dude,
work.
imagine all 4 of them are out, bro. That would be crazy. Because right now it's just Cody.
Yeah.
Right after WrestleMania, we lost Roman and we lost Seth and we lost Rhea. Not
Mhm.
not on purpose, but on accident. And so now it's just Cody. I mean, I don't put Damien in that class yet, so I don't think anybody does.
No, not yet.
Anything else?
No, I mean Backlash next week. Ready to see what
we'll
happens.
do predictions for that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if it's just the hype or maybe because it's in France. I don't know what the deal is, but like I don't feel excited for this. Do you?
Yeah. You don't feel excited because it's in France.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Like, I mean, do you feel excited for it? Do you have hype for it?
Not really.
It
It's just
like
like
seems like a show that's randomly being there, and I know they do Backlash after WrestleMania every year, but like it just
we
feels
felt
like
this way for Chamber too, didn't we? We were just like,
we were just more so pissed because we're gonna have to wake up at like 3 a.m. to watch it. This one will be at noon, so it'll be great. But like I don't know, there's not really much hype for it. I feel we'll probably have to. We'll probably. How should we do it? Should we film?
We're gonna have to get on StreamYard.
You saying to film afterwards?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, we could do that. I was gonna say either that or we film right before it because it starts at 12.
Yeah, that's true.
So then we won't be able to talk about it at all.
Ask group.
Yeah, we could do StreamYard.
Yeah,
right.
We'll figure it out.
Anything else to add?
No, I mean, I feel like we got through a lot.
Yeah. Next week we'll be back with episode 28. But until then, we'll catch you guys later.
Later, guys.